Yes.
Pyrex and microwave in
I'm
the
out
whip.
here,
You
you
probably
heard?
think I'm baking cake when I'm working the whip. You probably think it's Pyrex.
Whole lot of shots followed after I bust your snot box. Witness a rock bottle. Shoot the fair one, mono the clown.
Welcome to Senior Basketball Analyst. This is a really cool night. We had two highly anticipated games, at least for me. I know if you're an NBA fan, you were excited about them both. It just aired tonight on NBA TV. We had the first game of the night was the Thunder visiting the Houston Rockets. And the story of the night's got to be James Harden. He finally gets off the snide, so to speak. He's just been shooting horribly. It's been all over the internet, all over the news. He's just been playing terrible. And tonight he was back in rhythm. He was hitting some threes. And you could kind of tell the moment that that you could tell when he felt like he got his rhythm back. He kind of looked over at the bench and he did his little thing like this, but he didn't do it very enthusiastically. He kind of just looked over like, yeah, I think it's back now. And you could tell from the look on his face that was the moment when he realized, okay, that all of those bad games and that foolishness is now behind me. So it was really good to see that, because that's what we're looking for. We don't want to see great players out there playing poorly. That's not why we tune in. We tune in to see great players doing great things. And this game was jam-packed to the brim with it. Dwight Howard was doing an excellent job with rim protection. In fact, he was blocking so much stuff. The Rockets got called for, I believe, 7 goaltends. So they were making a lot of mistakes with their shot blocking, but Dwight Howard was trying to wipe everything away. We saw Kevin Durant being Kevin Durant, big time jump shots, driving to the basket, finishing strong in the paint. This kid, Russell Westbrook, I'm going to tell you like this. He exposed the Rockets for how poorly prepared they are. And look, just like everybody else, I like Kevin McHale, but Kevin McHale makes tremendous mistakes. He made them as a general manager. We all remember in Minnesota when they lost draft picks because he executed a trade with Joe Smith that was against the rules. We remember that. And we look at this team now currently that he has, and they struggle to do basic things. They don't, for example, every screen they play differently. And I don't mean they have a different strategy based on who is involved in the screen from an offensive perspective and who's involved from a defensive perspective. I mean they just play randomly everything differently. It's like a pickup game with these guys. You see consistently on baskets where they're looking at each other doing this. There was a play, and if you're not on seniorbasketballanalyst.com, should be. All the highlights, the news, all of that stuff is all there. If you're not following me on Instagram and following me on Twitter, you should be. All of these things are there. But I posted, there was a play. It was ridiculous. Russell Westbrook was posting up Patrick Beverley. First of all, don't help Patrick Beverley in ISOs. Let him just play defense. That's his strength. Let him just do it. If he's getting beaten up badly, then you can change your strategy. But don't take it upon yourself to just randomly double team. Well, just randomly, the double comes. Pat doesn't even know it's coming. Leaves a guy wide open under the basket. Russell Westbrook's a point guard. He immediately just dumps it down to the guy. Dwight Howard notices that something went wrong. He sprints back to the basket, gets there, but it's too late. He goaltends it. And he's looking around like this. Like, why'd you do that? They don't have any idea what each other is going to do. You know how we hear this term sometimes when a defense is playing well? You'll hear the announcers say on a string. What on a string means is that each defender is working in unison, and it's like they're tied together. And when one guy moves, then another guy moves. That's what on a string means. And when a team is on a, you will see the San Antonio Spurs on a string. You will see the Golden State Warriors on a string, the best defensive teams in the league. And that is because not only are they always in the right position, when they do have to rotate and help, as soon as that first help defender rotates over, as soon as that happens, then you're going to see someone rotate behind him as though he was tied to him on a string to help the helper. These things are basic basketball concepts that the Rockets players individually know, but they don't know when to do what. And if you miss a beat, it's over. It's a basket. In the NBA, you can't make these kinds of mistakes. Houston makes these kinds of mistakes constantly because in practice, they're not working on what we're supposed to do in any given situation. There was another ridiculous play with Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook again. Enes Kanter sets a screen on Westbrook, and Dwight Howard never came up. He basically played it the way Pau Gasol plays it, where he just stands there and doesn't do anything. Dwight just stood there. He just stood 15 feet behind the play. Beverly tries to get through the screen, but it's too late. Russell Westbrook just pulls up and hits it. The way that Patrick Beverley and Dwight Howard can defend individually, they should be, with their talent, they should be one of the best pick and roll combos on defense in the league. They should be just like Rondo and Kevin Garnett used to be, where they just, and Kevin Garnett was out there tonight breaking up at 21 years in the league, still stuffing pick and rolls. These are fundamental things. You don't have to be a great athlete to be able to do this stuff, but you have to be coached and you have to work on them in practice so you have your timing down and you know exactly how much help your teammates need. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but when we watch the Rockets play defense, when we watch the Rockets play offense too, they just make mistakes. Offensively, the only time they get a good shot is when one of their players athletically just beats somebody off the dribble and causes defenses to collapse, and then they kick out. That's the only time they get good shots. And then, of course, if they can make a defensive stop and then fast break off of it. Other than that, they don't get any good shots. They rely on James Harden to shoot a step back in somebody's face. They rely on it. This team, I hate to say it, but I don't think this team can ever I don't think this team can even get to a finals, let alone win a championship with Kevin McHale as coach, because they don't do anything that a great team has to do. They don't do any of those things. They have all the talent they need. They've had the talent, but they don't have any of the strategic elements that it's going to require. They just don't have it. And it's really unfortunate. And this was an exciting game, and I don't want to take away from that. It was jam-packed to the brim with great highlights. That Russell Westbrook, and especially you got to see him pull out the whole package because of the inability of the Houston Rockets to guard a screen, or any play with a screen in it. But Russell Westbrook, he's just amazing. He was pulling up, driving hard, stopping on the dime, pull up, cotton. He would go around a screen, then he hesitated, then he just exploded one step at the basket. He made so many spectacular plays. And it's always fun to watch him and Patrick Beverley match up, because even when Russell Westbrook is killing Beverley, Beverley never stops. He never stops. And let this be a lesson to you. Russell Westbrook had 25 points on 16 field goal attempts. He stomped all over Patrick Beverley. He stomped all over Ty Lawson. But if you're Patrick Beverley, I'm out there trying to make sure that Russell Westbrook misses one more shot. That's all I'm trying to do on every possession. And you don't quit. And when you don't quit, you get a couple things to fall your way. James Harden, the step daddy, he's got the step back working again. And you look up You win a game by 5 points. So this is what defense is about. It's about being consistent. Playing defense is about sticking to principles and continuing to work regardless of what kind of results you're getting. And especially against great players, and especially in this league where, you know, the hand checking is gone, all of the physicality is gone. So now a guy like Russell Westbrook, guys that can put on that accelerator like that, it's very difficult to stop them. And in some cases, it's impossible. And especially when you're not getting the help on the screens that you need to get. But you're just trying to make that one extra stop to try to win a game. And that's what the Houston Rockets did tonight. It was really a fantastic game. If you can catch it on NBA TV on the replay, I encourage you to do so. So Houston Rockets at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They win by 5, 115-110. Follow me on Instagram. You know the hashtag is SBA4 at SBA4String. You know, follow us, seniorbasketballanalyst.com. If you're not there, it's a one-stop shop, man. You got to be there so you can get all your NBA news. You know that.
Oh, yes. Sean Carter is nice, but Sean Price is the best. Sean gone. No Sean Dawn. Sean is a dawn I don't...